Hey everyone, welcome to Breakout Wednesday. It is 7 p.m. It's for the October the 4th, 2023. It's 7 p.m. in the Gold Coast, 8 p.m. Sydney, Melbourne time, and 5 p.m. on the West Coast. First of all, remember this is never financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. It's simply a video blog on how one trader sees the market, and everyone needs to take responsibility for their own decisions. Sitting up here in a hotel room in the Gold Coast with my daughter. Last week of school holidays, thought I'd come up here and have a bit of fun for a little bit. Now, I had there's a market correction going on, so I figured it was a good kind of week not to miss a talk, because a lot of people get their knickers in a knot, you know what I mean? And so I had someone reach out a few weeks back, first of all, before I get into it, that was kind of asking me how do I handle when the market's flying. I'm 100% invested, because when the market rolls over, you get stopped out of heaps of stuff at once, and it's kind of like this vicious cycle that goes around and around and around, and it's hard. And look, there's no easy way around it other than that I'm very progressive with how I get long. You know, I might only do 1-2 stocks at once, and then another, if they're going well, another few stocks, they're going well, another few positions, until I'm 100% invested. Never would I just go all in, you know, at the start, because if the market rolls over the next day, you're just going to get absolutely obliterated. But then once I'm in, I think a lot of people get complacent. Okay, they, you know, during a bull market and a trend like this, let's just go back to Apple, because I talked a lot about it. A lot of people just get complacent during these uptrends, and they think it's never going to end. It always ends. Doesn't matter what it is. Bitcoin, Apple, you know, best companies in the world. They all have uptrends and they end. That doesn't. There's no special asset class out there that just, you know, never has corrections. Okay, and so you got to not be complacent. And so and I think that's where the emotions just need to stay out of it. And you can't get greedy. And you just need to be a business person, and you just need to remember that this trend's gonna end. No feelings involved. Just press the sell button, get the hell out, move on, bank the cash, and you got to respect the market and respect the rules. Look at WiseTech. I mean, holy shit. I mean, we're in this thing, huge uptrend, and then bang. If you get complacent on that, you just got to manage your open positions. And be progressive with how you get in, okay? But then when the market's correcting like this, and this is the more important thing that was part of that question, is that what do I do during a correction? And to explain that, I'm going to just run through quickly how I deal with it, and first of all, this is when I get busy. I went from 100% invested, you know, a month or so ago. Now I'm nearly 100% cash in my trading account. I even got out of SMR the other day in the 3.72, I think it was. You know, up here, I got back out here a bit early, and then the rest up here. So I was pretty damn happy with that. And so yeah, I pretty much don't have any trades right now, just my long-term positions. Okay, I've got a few shorts actually, but I won't go into that. And so and so the main thing I do during a correction is I get super busy trying to find the strong stocks, the stocks that are not getting obliterated, okay? Because this is the time when 99.9% of traders and investors are kind of having a bit of a cry. They're declaring that it's all too hard, the market's rigged, it's out to get them, and they give up, you know, and it's too painful for them to look at their screens or their phone or their bank account, and so they kind of go into this, like, let's forget about the market for a couple months until it turns around sort of thing phase, which is completely opposite thing to do. You know, by the time it's turned around and they're getting bloody messages from their stupid mates telling them how good the market is, you know, that bull market, that upswing's nearly over, okay? They've missed the chunk and the meat of the move, okay? And the biggest money and the serious money is made in people who are getting long at market bottoms in stocks which don't look like they're at market bottoms, if that makes sense, okay? And I'm going to just run through how I deal with this now and how I figure this out as quickly and succinctly as I can, okay? First of all, during a market correction, just flicking to the long-term stuff really quickly, I'll look at my long-term ETFs, which I love to just invest in during market corrections, okay? Gear, if it can get down to this region, I'm going to be just backing the car up and just getting as much as I can. Yeah, IVV, S&P 500, can get down to its 200-day, I'll get some, but if it can also get to this long-term resistance turn support, I'll just absolutely load the hell up. NASDAQ, okay, NASDAQ 100, if you can get to its 200 day, I'm going to add to it. And what is the other ones? India stock market. I'm looking at stocks which are holding up during this correction. I'm looking at indices and markets and countries and commodities and all sorts of stuff which are holding up and not getting hammered. So far, the Indian ETF is holding up. Make that of that as you will. It's something I'm going to be keeping a very close eye on. And if this can hold this pattern, not sell off, and it's showing huge relative strength, I'm going to be all over it, okay? And Asia, I just chucked that in there, but I'm not going to add to Asia. I've already got a position on it. I'm still up on the position. It was the one I got in back here, and then I added to it in here, and then blah, blah, blah. I'm going to hold tight for now on that. Anyway, so, and then how do I deal with corrections? There's a few scans I do. First of all, I love just going to pattern and events and searching for a 30-day breakup. I chuck the chart point resistance in there too. Usually there's hardly anything, okay, but it just gives me a gauge of is there anything actually going up right now and what is it? And it's usually always just tiny little penny dreadfuls that came out with some sort of news that's irrelevant to the overall market, you know. And there's also, you know, these inverse kind of short ETFs. Well done to Peter, who's been giving me some shit on Messenger about how he's getting long on these, and I kind of didn't really I don't know, gave him some slack about it, but I think he's probably right, and I was probably wrong with that. Good on him. You know, but they're just not things I really look at much, to be honest. I just trade other stuff, but you can't trade everything out there. I just scroll through that, not really for setups. Like I might find a setup, but more just to get my head around, is there anything actually going up? Okay, is there a sector that's still going up, or is it just a random little penny dreadfuls, which it usually is, okay? Once I get through that, I go and I do my Dava scans, right? And it's a bit different, right? I'm just going to quickly do it in front of you. So I look for this Dava box scan, really basic filters, okay? 100,000, 100,000, let's just do the scans. Okay, and then 90 boxes of stock Dava scans, stocks that come up that are still in boxes. I don't want to scroll through 90 right now, but you know, it's a bit. So let's just filter it down. So I go to indicators and events, looking for the ones above their 200 exponential moving average. Scan result. Let's go to the most recent scan. Okay, let's scan that. Then just so it looks pretty and it's still coming up in the Dava box, let's just go back into it. And scan result, and let's just scan that result so it's still coming up. All right, and then there's only 56 to go through, and then I go through them, okay, one by one. Doesn't take too long, and then I stop at stocks like this, like ABB, right, which is pretty much unaffected by the market pullback. Like, look what the All Ords is doing, okay. I mean, shit, look at that, and then look what ABB's doing, okay. Where is it? There. And so obviously there's relative strength. Now I'm going to put that in a watch list, and I'm going to just watch it, and if the market keeps correcting and this just keeps going sideways, that's just, you know, it's like you're playing a game of poker and someone's just showing you their cards, you know. And so this thing's showing me its cards, and if it just keeps basing and going sideways like that, I'll be trading the hell out of that when the market stops dumping. And statistically speaking, they're the best trades out there. And I'll scroll through all these. Like, most of these won't interest me. That's too loose. I don't want to get excited about a bank. Asia, BBOS, no. BPT, I was watching this. It was basing away, and then it broke down. Now it's base. I didn't short it, unfortunately. Variables too slow. I mean, C79, 100%. You know, this is a stock that I'm really watching closely. It's a bit of liquid, but if that can just stay in that Davis box there and just keep cruising sideways and just on tiny volume during this correction, and then if this correction is ending, then I'll be getting as many of those as I can on a breakout. Okay, it's going to be hard to get any now that I've said this on this bloody talk, but anyway, we'll see what happens. You know, and then I'll just scroll through here. I think there was one or two others that kind of interest me. Let's just quickly, Dicker Data, right? So Dicker Data, I think I talked about the other week. Huge downtrend, flushing out, awesome Davis boxes. Okay, for those who do their Davis scans religiously, broke up, sit in a new box, and then showing relative strength. This has an amazing leader. The CEO of Dicker Data is a legend. Takes you know, just does what's in the best interest of the company at all times. He's pretty old school, makes it very successful, but still looks after his shareholders and has got a good business. So this has everything about it that I like. I want to get in this. I just need to time it right, okay? And so I'm going to be watching this, and if it can just hold this base, then the market keeps dumping, and then the market stops dumping, starts turning around. Then these stocks that hold up the most are going to be the ones that absolutely fly during the next correction. So then I'll just run through all these, okay, and just try and find stocks that are holding up, okay, because there are some in here, right? That's a bit boring. I'm trying to find fast-moving stocks that actually can just explode on you. When they want to go, they just absolutely go. And so there's heaps in here, okay. But this is just a way for me to find bases which are not getting hammered. There's one other one I want to quickly talk about. I kind of forget it. 1 second. I'm nearly there. Oh, by the way, I just thought I'd stop here on the NASDAQ. Don't let anyone tell you can't trade ETFs. I mean, look at this. It's sitting here now, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Davis box just basing away. I mean, holy hell. Trading doesn't have to be that hard, does it? If you're just disciplined enough to do your Davis scans all the time, and you just take signals, and you just have the discipline to actually take the signal, then actually just sit with it and not sell or do anything dumb, and just let it run, let it play out. Anyway, not many people can actually do it, but it doesn't have to be hard. It is hard because not many people can do it, but it doesn't have to be complicated. I mean, that's not the one I'm looking for. Okay, NHC, coal stocks are back in favour. SMR obviously was a flyer. YIL, WHC, all those stocks, actually, some of them are setting up. But New Hope is sitting in its third Davis box. Okay, had a little bit of a pullback today, not huge. So clear resistance up there, and so definitely something that is in the watch list, and I'm just watching that carve out a base. Hopefully I can base a bit longer if it can, and all the coal stocks seem to be all looking strong still. Then I'll be getting into that on a break, okay. But if this can just, let's say the correction comes down here or whatever, and then all those other stocks are still just sitting there tight in the Davis box, then why the hell wouldn't I want to trade those stocks in a breakout? It just wouldn't make any sense not to trade them, okay? Because if a huge correction can't knock them down to earth, what will? And that's when the big money, the biggest money in the market is made at turning points, and this is how you find a turning point, by working your ass off right this second during this correction and not being a massive sissy and hiding under your bed. One of the only other scans I like doing during a correction is a really simplistic one. Sometimes I make it a bit complicated, a bit more complex for fun, but tonight I'm just going to keep it simple. I will just do like a close above the exponential 5, okay? Sometimes I add a bunch of volume stuff in there for fun, but for tonight I'm not going to. Sometimes I just love adding in increasing volume before days and all that sort of stuff, just because it's finds some pretty cool shit. But tonight I'm just going to keep it at that. And then it is interesting just to look at what stocks are still above their 5 exponential moving averages despite this pullback, okay? I don't want to look through 561s. I'll go back through and I'll filter that back down till I find about 80, I'll wipe away the liquidity, and I'll put up the liquidity and all that sort of stuff, and look for ones above their 200-day and all that stuff too, okay? And then the stocks, I just want to see if the All Lords are down getting hammered, but we have a bunch of stocks which are still above their 5 exponential moving averages, which are pretty liquid, all right? Why is that happening? I mean, it must be a good thing. And so a lot of those stocks I'll then put on watch lists. And this is how I'm finding the next leaders of the next bull market, okay? And now I've only got 35 to deal with, all right? I'll be scrolling through this, and I'll be looking at ones that are closing above their 5 exponential moving. Now, these are all penny dreadfuls, but every now and then I'll find a ripe one that's not a penny dreadful, okay? Anyway, that's it, guys. Happy scanning. This is not the time to be giving up on your trading hopes. This is the time to get busy. Hopefully it's sitting in cash mainly because you've been stopped out of and you followed your stop loss rules, and in the trading account, not the long-term stuff, and you're just sitting tight, scanning the way, working hard, looking for the next leaders of the next bull market, because that's where the money's made. All right, take care, everyone. Catch you next week. Bye.